You raise an interesting point. So we really are a country of regions and states. It's not monolithic in anything, and certainly not in the outlook on this issue.
Yeah.
So you live in a place, Berkeley, where you have access to probably a lot of produce. You're within range of a lot of farms and farming interests, and you can get good quality beef if you elect to have it and everything else. But for a lot of America, Carl's Jr. is it.
Yeah.
For a lot of America, they don't have access to the same things. Isn't it not, I'm not saying this of you, but isn't it arrogant to assume that while these may be good principles in theory, it's very difficult for people in a lot of parts of this country to live the life that you're expecting people to live?
Well, I'm not expecting people to do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm putting out choices, and that there are enormous disparities nationally about, Iowa, great example, is a food desert.
Right.
When I was out there doing reporting on corn and soybean agriculture, one of the things that really hit me is that this is the best soil in the world, okay? They've got 6 feet of topsoil. It's beautiful stuff. They could grow anything they want. They're growing corn and soy, shipping it out of town, and bringing it back in the form of processed food.
Right.
They only grow 10% of their food off the best soil in the world. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Carl's Jr. is a very important option. But I have to say that even there, the kinds of things you see in downtown Austin with the farmers market is rising. There are farmers markets now everywhere. And you find farmers who were corn and bean farmers now putting in a couple rows because they want to grow for this new local market.
So, in fact, these places that we assume have been sort of vast wastelands of nutrition and
are
sustainability are getting better.
They're getting better.
Yeah.
There was just an article in the Washington Post by Jane Black about, she moved to Huntington, West Virginia, where Jamie Oliver did his show. Supposedly a terrible place for eating, where highest obesity rates in the country, and she's found she can eat locally there, and that there are really great options. And so what I'm saying is that people are not always aware of the options that are in their communities. The options are developing. Yep. But there's a weather issue too. I mean, I can go to the farmers market 50 weeks of the year. You guys may be able to do that here in Austin too. I don't know. Right. But and there are a lot of places where the farmers market is only 5 or 6 months.
Well, in fact, in some places like Minneapolis or Chicago, where there's bad weather, or any place else, it's going to be harder to sustain.
Yeah, it is, and there's no question. And local is not an all or nothing proposition. Right. I mean, there's a caricature of the locavore as someone who only eats local. I haven't actually met this person, or usually they're writing a book, or it's some kind of stunt.
Yeah. It's like flagpole sitting, right?
Yeah.
I get it.
So it's about emphasis. It's about doing what you can when you can. I mean, it's not about getting this choice right 3 times a day. It's like when you can. Those votes are very important, and they accumulate. Now, the bigger challenge, I think, though, is affordability. I mean, healthier food right now
can be more expensive.
More. Yeah, it usually is.
It's not for nothing that they used to refer to it as not whole foods but whole paycheck.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, the fact is, people talked about how expensive it was to embrace this lifestyle. We have to acknowledge that it is expensive.
Yeah, and we have to adjust policy. We have to make this food more accessible. There's enormous, the deck is stacked against healthy food because we subsidize unhealthy food. I mean, we get the food system that policy gives us. And
if you can get a burger and fries and a soda at a fast food restaurant for less than the minimum wage,
yeah, exactly.
The impetus is to go in that direction for a lot of people if they don't have the resources.
We've made it rational to eat badly.
Too easy to.
And if you're buying calories, if you don't have a lot of money, the rational choice will take you to the Burger King window. And, but part of the reason that is true is that we allow big meat companies, for example, to externalize the real costs of their meat in terms of pollution. They don't have to clean up their wastes. They're more or less exempt from the Clean Air and Clean Water Act.
And therefore they can afford to sell us the byproduct of their labor.
Exactly. We allow them to squander, critical human antibiotics on feedlots. That's a giant cost to public health that they don't bear, and that's not reflected in the cost of the food. So it's not that's not honestly priced food. That is heavily subsidized. We're paying. Somebody did a calculation, and the real cost of a fast food hamburger, if you really look at all the environmental, social, health implications, it should be $200.
Really?
Yeah. Now, I haven't seen these numbers or how it was calculated, but the point is, it's not really $2 or $1 or whatever it is.
They're burying the cost.
Yeah. So, I think you have to attack it from 2 directions. We should be paying the real cost of food. Now, the issue is, can everybody afford it? And No, people right now could not afford the
and
real
especially
cost
in
of
a
food.
bad economy, it's hard to,
Right.
to message
That's
spending more money on this. We have 2 minutes left, so I'm now going to ask you the question that every interviewer in history has asked you with 2 minutes left. What's in your refrigerator?
What is in my refrigerator right now? I haven't looked in there for a little while. I don't think it would surprise people. I mean, the milk's organic.
It wouldn't be freaky stuff.
No, there's a lot of leftovers because I cook a lot. So there are containers of all sorts of odd things that I have to look at every now and then, make sure they're still edible.
Can I eat this? Yeah.
But there's a container of soup that I cooked the other day. There's a salami that a friend made that I'm about halfway through. There's a bunch of olives. There's some hot sauce and various salsas. There's cheese.
Are you living the local stuff?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We go to the farmer's market every week. It's 2 blocks from my house, and the food is wonderful. I have to go to the cash machine, though, before I go. It's not cheap, but I've just made it a priority. That's one of the things I spend money on, and sometimes it drives me crazy, and I feel like this is just too much. They're charging too much for this. Yeah. But one of my rules is pay more, eat less.
Pay more,
eat less. Which is to say, think about food in terms of quality, not quantity.
So you'd rather pay more
for something really special.
Right.
Because I think what we're really after is food experience, really good food experience. And you can get that through quality and savoring food and preparing it well rather than just eating a lot of it.
Wow. Now I'm hungry, actually, after talking to you. So thanks a lot. Anyway, what an honor and a treat to get to talk to you.
Well, thank you, Evan.
Appreciate you coming through.
Very happy
All right,
to be
Michael
here.
Pollan, thanks very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Funding for Overheard with Evan Smith is provided in part by Hilco Partners, Texas Government Affairs Consultancy, and its global healthcare consulting business unit, Hilco Health, and by the Matson McHale Foundation in support of public television, and also by MFI Foundation, improving the quality of life within our community, and also by the Alice Kleberg Reynolds Foundation. And viewers like you, thank you.